that at all. Like, as the future caregiver or potential caregiver, I think I am inclined to look for signs of memory. Like, my mom started to have some mild memory challenges, not dramatic, but enough that it was like, well, let's just have an assessment. But what I'm hearing you say today are there are other clues we should be looking for that are not just memory. Give me some guideposts or some suggestions about if you're starting to notice, and maybe it is just as much as a personality change, but what's advice about when to take the next step and get a cognitive assessment?
So of all the different kinds of dementias out there, Alzheimer's is the most common one we hear about most often. And most people would know that memory issues come with that, but also problem solving, being able to balance a checkbook, being able to figure out a recipe. Things like that might be signs, difficulty completing familiar tasks. Maybe they've lived in the same house 30 years and they got lost 6 blocks from home and didn't know what to do. Another example might be getting confused about dates, times, people. Who is this person in relation to me? Forgetting important events, birthdays, anniversaries, that kind of thing. It might be a spatial awareness, knocking the rearview mirror off the car driving in. Peripheral vision changes in word finding, can't come up with the right word, talking around the word, can't remember names, nouns, that kind of thing is really common. A big one is misplacing things and retracing steps,
Mhm.
constantly losing their phone, constantly losing the keys, the wallet, the purse,
But
the
more
credit
than
card.
me. I mean, I feel like I'm
Yes,
constantly looking for my keys.
yes, yes. But it's like you can spend a lot of hours a day retracing and can't find it.
Okay.
The other thing is like decreased or poor judgment. Somebody who's on porn now when they never used to be, falling for financial exploitation, which is $1 billion business. That's a big one for folks. Withdrawing from people, like kind of going into their own cocoon and not wanting to interact with other people. And then if we see some mood and personality changes that are, most of our personalities are pretty set by our early 20s, but of course we all change and evolve over time. But I always give myself an example. I'm a huge extrovert, and if I suddenly don't want to be around people, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to see anybody, I'm really avoidant. People should be worried because that's
Hmm.
not my baseline, or people that like love being around their grandkids. They love being nothing else but being around their family and suddenly can't stand being around. They just go to their own room and withdraw and that kind of stuff. So when you start seeing these red flags, and I always say in my classes, like, so there's normal aging, there's different things as we age, there's certain things that, all of us start doing. But that middle ground is more like the mild cognitive impairment, or MCI,
Hmm.
where I call it more like a nuisance. Like you're looking for the keys, you're looking for the phone, maybe you're needing more stick-em notes to remember things, or you're more relying on a calendar or whatever, but you're still managing. It's a nuisance, but it's not interfering with your day-to-day functioning. Where it tips from like that MCI into dementia is when whatever the person is struggling with is now impacting their day-to-day abilities a little bit or a whole lot.
Okay.
So they're getting lost in familiar places, they're forgetting appointments, they're forgetting their meds,